A grown woman, you make this decision. What is the moment? What is the trigger for you to think, I want to reconnect now? Did something happen? Did you just...
I got kids. Well, a kid. I got a kid.
At that time.
And you're going to think this is really nuts. But
Never.
I really wanted him to swab the side of his mouth so I could do the 23andMe thing. I really care about my ancestry. I'm trying to figure out all of this stuff because I want to know where we're from. Like, you know what I mean? That all that kind of stuff means a lot to me. So I was thinking about that, but above anything, really thinking about like what a better time to connect with him. And if he says yes, great. If he says no, great. I was okay with you know.
You think he would have said no?
You just never know.
But did it occur to you? Did you think?
Yes.
Say my name, kinda shady. Baby, I heard you. I'm here to serve you. How I love him for his generosity. My man, my man, my man.
She said,
you don't know what you mean to me. Baby, I'ma be your motivation.
You know, my mom was a hard worker. She was a housekeeper and nanny my life. And it was a transitional time where I moved from being with my mom to with Tina and Matthew and B and so on. She said, I knew when you told me that you had a dream, I had to figure out how you were going to get to this dream. This is a part of it and you have to go.
Oh, honey, y'all better grab a seat because we about to spill the real tea on Kelly Rowland. You know her from Destiny's Child, slaying stages left and right, and even shining solo. But don't let that glitter fool you, baby. Kelly's life? Oh, it's been a wild roller coaster of drama, secrets, and some downright scandalous moments. We're talking headlines that'll make you clutch your pearls, family drama that'll have you side-eyeing, and juicy deets that sound like they came straight out of a reality show. Trust me, becoming an icon ain't all about Grammys and red carpets. There's a whole lot of mess behind the scenes, so get ready, because we are about to dive deep into Kelly Rowland's world. And honey, it's way more interesting than you ever thought. Let's rewind to where it all started with Kelly Rowland. Cause baby, the story is everything. Born Calendria Trinae Rowland on February 11th, 1981 in Atlanta, Georgia, Kelly's beginnings? Oh, they weren't the fairy tale you might think.
Hey, I'm Kelly Rowland and I'll tell you all the reasons why I'm very proud to be from
Her early years? Well, let's just say it wasn't all roses. Mama Doris was out here living her best life with a nanny in tow.
You know, my mom was a hard worker. She was a housekeeper and nanny.
And as for her daddy, Christopher Lovett, he was barely even a blip on the radar.
Me growing up with my mom, my dad being in and out of my life.
Now hold up, because this is where things take a real turn. It wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. There was some heavy stuff going on at home. Domestic abuse had Doris packing up her and Kelly's life, leaving her toxic marriage behind and heading to Houston, Texas in search of a fresh start. But wait, this is where it gets really juicy. Once they hit Texas, Kelly's life flipped upside down. By the time she was just 7 years old, Doris made a bold move. She let Kelly move in with none other than the Knowles family. Yep, that Knowles family. The one and only Beyonce's parents, Matthew and Tina. And baby, it wasn't just a casual thing. They became Kelly's legal guardians.
My life. And it was a transitional time where I moved from being with my mom to with Tina and Matthew and B and so on. She said, I knew when you told me that you had a dream, I had to figure out how you were going to get to this dream. This is a part of it, and you have to go.
From there, Kelly and Beyonce were thick as thieves, growing up like straight-up sisters. Together, they started making serious magic happen.
Meeting the Knowles family and having this space of a new family, you know what I mean? And still, of course, having my mom there and having, you know, my two moms and a father-type figure there, too.
These two? Oh, they were inseparable. Formed a group called Girls Time and were out here grinding together. But listen, don't get it twisted. Success didn't just fall into their laps. They had to work hard for that shine.
Just go back to it one more time for me to get some more footage. Just get the strongest harmony parts. I just need a few more minutes of footage, that's all.
The children of the world.
Baby, let's talk about setbacks. They went on Star Search and lost in front of a whole national audience. Ouch. But did that stop them? Oh no, honey. The girls weren't about to let one rejection hold them down.
Your challenges are a young group from Houston. Welcome to Ativia, Nina, E. Ashley, the Hip Hop Girls Time.
They kept pushing, performing anywhere they could, and stayed focused on that prize. By the time Kelly was about 5 or 6, she was already up in church. belting out solos like a pro.
I remember having this big, ugly white dress on. You know, the ones they give you when you small and you got the little matching frilly sock go with it.
Little Easter.
Singing my first solo. And she was like, she told my mom, oh, she can do it. And I know she can do it. And I get up there and I had such a great time singing. And I was like, it was a moment. I remember exactly what the audience looked like. I can see it right now. So it's like, I knew what that feeling felt like. And I knew that's where I wanted to be. I knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's amazing. Do you remember what you were singing?
Yes, it was, I want to walk and talk with Jesus. Yes.
It was actually her choir instructor who saw that raw talent first. And Kelly held on to that encouragement like it was gold. You know, sometimes all it takes is one person to see your potential and give you that boost.
Who was the first person that said, oh, you can actually sing, you should use that?
My choir instructor.
How old were you?
6, maybe 5 or 6. Wow. 5, 6, 7, like in that age range.
Fast forward a few years, and by age 10, Kelly was already part of the group that would go on to change the game, Destiny's Child baby. But let's not get it twisted. It wasn't all smooth sailing. Getting that record deal? Oh, it was a hustle. Rejection after rejection. But they finally landed with Columbia Records in 1997. And little did they know, this was about to flip their lives upside down.
It was more so like, because it took us a while to get our record deal, for some people it was like, oh yeah, y'all little record deal. Oh yeah, y'all little music thing. Let me make it very clear. One should never little anybody's anything.
I know that's right.
It's such a disrespect. Like, I think that we kind of just do that naturally. Oh, I'm gonna go to this little thing that's such and such. It's not little. When someone gets an opportunity to do something, it's an opportunity, which makes it big for them, and you delight in that moment for them with them, because it ain't little. Like, little is when you're belittling something or someone, and it's fine, people did that. My, I have to take.
Destiny's Child didn't just rise to fame in the late 90s, they straight up dominated. When No 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 Part 2 dropped in 1998, oh baby, it was game over for the competition. They had the industry on lock. Girl, Kelly still gets chills thinking about the first time they heard their song on the radio. Picture this. The girls packed into a car, cruising through Houston, on their way to pick up Solange, when No 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 comes on. Honey, chaos erupted. They were screaming, laughing, and probably driving the poor driver to the edge of sanity.
Of y'all riding in the car picking up Solange, that's the first time y'all heard No on the radio. 97.95. Everybody is tripping. But how did the people around you change? Because it doesn't seem like y'all changed, but I'm sure fame, all of a sudden people like, oh, wait a minute, like they're really making it. How did people around you change, and how did that change you as a teenage girl? Probably just wanted acceptance like all of us.
Well, you know, it was more so like
Survivor, her. Destiny's Child wasn't just another girl group, baby. Oh no, they were a whole movement. Grannies bumping their jams? Check. Tens of millions of records sold? Double check. Fans going wild? Triple check. Kelly, Beyonce, and Michelle, they were the blueprint for success. And let's not forget, by the time Kelly was just 18, she was sitting pretty, stacking that paper as a millionaire. But behind all that glitter and glam, trust, there was some serious drama. Of course, there was drama. The group went through some major shakeups, with members coming and going like it was a revolving door.
Like though when you heard that they'd shot a video for a song you sang on Way Out There.
I was like, nah, you playing. I was like, hold on. I was like, it's not true. Then we got another call and we heard it again. Then the next thing I'm looking at BET. The premiere of Destiny's Child's new video, Say My Name. Oh, that's how we heard about it.
And while all of this was going down, the rumor mill was working overtime about Matthew Knowles' cutthroat management style. Whispers of favoritism, power struggles, and all kinds of behind-the-scenes drama had the tabloids eating it up.
What started sort of the rift that ultimately had you leave the group?
I mean, ultimately, it was management. He did get kind of loud, and I don't know the right word to say it right now, but it's not a way you would want somebody treating your 18-year-old daughter fresh out of the hospital from stomach flu and dehydration. It just started getting more where I guess I wasn't saying anything, like I said. I was just taking it, and I'm on, like you said, I'm on the outside, I'm around everybody, their whole family, and Michelle has her family who's like all God-fearing in a church, and they stick together, and I'm kind of like the one out left or whatever, and I've been taking care of myself and holding my family down, so I kind of felt like I was a little bit like, okay, you need to be happy to be here, so just take it. I did, until I was tired of taking it, and not from management, and not, like I said, from someone who you don't want talking to your daughter that way or dealing with your daughter, because my father had issues.
But through all that chaos, Destiny's Child stuck it out long enough to give their fans the perfect farewell. Their swan song, Destiny Fulfilled in 2004. But hold up, Kelly had one last mic drop moment waiting for her. During a concert in Barcelona, she dropped the bomb. Destiny's Child was officially done. The fans? Oh, they were shook. The girls assured everyone there was no bad blood and that they were parting ways on a high note. Whether everyone bought that story? Well, that's a whole other tea. When Destiny's Child called it quits, Kelly Rowland was out here nervous as heck about stepping out on her own. Can you imagine? You've been the quiet powerhouse in one of the biggest girl groups in history, and now you gotta carry that whole weight by yourself. Whew!
No, I think that it's nervous and scary and, anxious, and what are they gonna think? It's one voice instead of three, all these different things. And yeah, it drives you a little mad for a second till you just wrap your head around it.
Who helped you get over that fear, or what helps you get over that fear? I can imagine you.
Yeah, but you have no choice really, because it's happening. You know what I mean? It's just
this is coming.
Yeah, this is coming. It's gonna happen, regardless. I had to keep up with this moving train. That's really how it went.
In 2002, Kelly dropped her debut album, Simply Deep, and let's just say, the world wasn't ready for the fire she was about to bring. And don't even get me started on the track Dilemma with Nelly. That song had everybody in their feelings. The album, it did its thing, but it wasn't just about the music. It was about Kelly finding her confidence and really stepping into her own. That's when she started to realize she was the queen she was born to be. But honey, behind the scenes, it was anything but smooth sailing. In 2009, Kelly made a major move that had everyone talking. She fired Matthew Knowles, her manager. Yep, Beyonce's dad. The streets were buzzing, 'cause word was, tensions had been simmering for a while. Now, Kelly never came out and said anything shady, but baby, it was obvious she was done being the sidekick. She wanted control of her own destiny, and honestly, after all those years under Matthew's thumb, it was about time. The gossip machine went wild wondering if there was bad blood, but Kelly, she kept it cute and classy, staying silent and focused on the next chapter of her career. She wasn't about to let anyone hold her back, especially not after the success she was stacking up all on her own. Oh baby, let's dive into some real daddy drama because trust me, this part of Kelly's life is a whole roller coaster. Kelly spent most of her childhood growing up without her father, and that absence, it weighed heavy on her heart for decades, leaving her with trust issues that followed her all the way into adulthood.
That probably has to do with trust, right? Because looking at you talk about having daddy issues and abandonment issues, it's like...
But hold up, don't think this is where the tea stops. Oh no, honey, it only gets juicier. Fast forward to when Kelly's all grown up, married, a mama herself, and that's when she decided it was time to face the past. After all those years of living her life without him, Kelly was finally ready to see if there was a chance for some kind of reconciliation. Was she nervous? Oh, you bet. Who wouldn't be? But this woman was ready for some answers and she wasn't about to back down. So what does she do? Tracks him down, arranges a meetup, and shows up with a 23andMe kit, just in case there was any question about their biological connection. Oh, she was not playing.
Grown woman, you make this decision. What is the moment? What is the trigger for you to think, I want to reconnect now? Did something happen? Did you just...
I got kids. Well, a kid. I got a kid.
At that time.
And you're going to think this is really nuts. But
Never.
I really wanted him to swab the side of his mouth so I could do the 23andMe thing. I really care about my ancestry. I'm trying to figure out all of this stuff because I want to know where we're from. You know what I mean? That all that kind of stuff means a lot to me. So I was thinking about that, but above anything, really thinking about what a better time to connect with him. Mm-hmm. And if he says yes, great. If he says no, great. I was okay with,
You think he would have said no?
You just never know.
But did it occur to you? Did you think?
Yes.
Baby, this wasn't some cute, long-lost father-daughter reunion. Nah. Kelly had real questions and was ready for closure, even if it wasn't pretty. When they finally came face to face, emotions were all over the place. Anger, relief, confusion, and surprisingly, understanding. Seeing him after all those years of pain and unresolved issues was no joke. But as they started peeling back the layers, Kelly began to see just how much his PTSD had shaped his life. And in turn, their broken relationship.
I remember thinking about what if he doesn't respond.
So you even thought about that? I never even thought about
it. What if he doesn't respond? I remember walking to meet him. My feet got heavy. I mean, he showed up, but even still, I had all these things I wanted to say. I was going to go in on this man. Why weren't you there? Why didn't you such and such? I can't believe what you, I knew and it was all spewing.
So you had anger. You had anger.
I kid you not. The moment I walked in there, I saw his face. face. I saw how old he was. I saw time. I said, something said, be quiet. I was quiet. I let this man talk for 2 hours. 2 hours he needed to get out everything that he needed to get out. And he still kept talking. And then, you know, it was like certain things that he told me like fit the other side of a part of a story that my mom had told me. You know what I mean? But I'm like, well, that doesn't add up and this part doesn't quite make any sense. And why did you try to find me? You know, and he did. But I realized in the course of that time of my being mad at him, I'd also set boundaries up for myself. Like I said, when me and the girls would go on tour, I made sure to have a meeting with the security guards. Like if a man comes to the gate and he says his name is this, do not. Like I set up my boundaries because I didn't know what he was going to bring into my life. And I was like, I'm good right now. So all that time, I'm protecting myself. You know what I mean? But in all the time that I'm protecting myself, I'm also going through the most tumultuous relationships, choosing the wrongest dudes to be around.
Now, it didn't fix everything, but it gave Kelly a whole new perspective. She had to confront all the scars his absence left on her heart, especially the trust issues it gave her, especially with men. But even after all of that emotional turmoil, Kelly decided to move forward. She was determined to turn the page and give herself and her kids a fresh start. Kelly's never been one to shy away from speaking her truth, and this time was no different. She didn't just sit back and let life run her. Nah, she showed up, did the healing work, and found peace with her past, even if it wasn't some fairy tale ending. But honey, it was real, and Kelly was finally ready to write her own story. Then, tragedy struck. Her mother, Doris, passed away shortly after Kelly became a mother herself, and that loss, that hit deep. Losing the one woman who had always been her rock left a void that no one could fill.
Losing my mom after I had my son, my husband being awesome, that he's really a G for just helping me figure it out.
Through all that heartbreak, Kelly found a little peace in the love of her own family. She married Tim Weatherspoon, a man who's been her rock, her steady support. And yeah, while she took his last name legally, she still kept Rowland professionally. Together, they built a beautiful life and had 2 kids. And even though life had handed her some tough cards, Kelly's little ones became her new source of joy. But let's be real, the ache of losing her mama, that's a wound that'll never fully heal. Even with all the personal chaos surrounding her, Kelly kept that career of hers flying high. She wasn't sitting around waiting for things to fall into place. Nah, she was out here making power moves. As a judge on the X Factor in both the US and UK, she even took her talents to The Voice Australia, and baby, they ate her up. Fans were loving her supportive vibe and that ear for talent. Kelly was serving everything from mentorship to straight-up sass. But hold up, the grind didn't stop there. Kelly wasn't just living for reality TV. She was out here owning the big and small screens too. She turned heads when she took on the role of the legendary Gladys Knight in American Soul on BET.
I'm talking about a national television show written, produced, and owned by Black people.
Oh, she had the chops to portray a soul music icon, baby.
Rowland, and I'm playing Gladys Knight on American Soul. Playing Gladys in this series, one, is an honor because she has been in the game for so long. And she still has so much grace, so much class, so much love for music. She still sings as if she just started yesterday. And I admire that, and I love that about her. She was the first artist performed on Soul Train. The relationship that her and Don Cornelius had was a real understanding of deep love for Black people and music and keeping our culture alive, making it extremely relevant, popular at that time. Like, they don't even know what they did. I'm sure Don Cornelius knows, God rest his soul, but like what he did to our culture, for our culture, was so incredibly important and impactful and necessary.
And let's not forget, she showed us she could do comedy too.
I'm not married, so I'm not wearing a ring.
I'm sorry, but Jesus has my heart.
Let's talk about that Christmas classic, Merry Little Christmas Baby.
How about we do a trial run just to see what happens?
Okay.
That track blew up so big it turned into a whole franchise with sequels, like Merry Little Christmas Wedding. You better believe Kelly's got the acting game on lock. But hold up, let's rewind to Coachella 2018. You remember that moment? Fans are still buzzing about it. Kelly, Beyonce, and Michelle Williams reunited for a mini Destiny's Child reunion. And honey, the world stopped. They were dressed in matching outfits, slaying with hits like Lose My Breath and Say My Name. The trio reminded everyone that they still had that magic. And it wasn't just a performance, it was a reminder of why Destiny's Child is the blueprint for girl groups everywhere. The energy? Insane. But Kelly didn't just live off that nostalgia. Oh no, she kept the music coming strong. Tracks like Crown and Kelly, straight fire.
I wear my crown, show it off, gone, girl.
Kelly was out here teasing fans with what's coming next. linking up with heavy hitters like David Guetta and Calvin Harris, blending R&B with dance pop in a way that only Kelly could pull off. Let's be real, Kelly Rowland wasn't just the other girl in Destiny's Child. She's a full-on superstar, slaying music, TV, and acting, all while keeping that energy unapologetically hers. But honey, the current film festival, it was buzzing. But not for the reasons you might think. Kelly was gliding up that iconic red carpet, serving looks that could melt cameras when things took a sudden turn. A security guard, instead of giving her the usual polite escort, put his hands up and rushed Kelly up the stairs like she was some kind of afterthought. And baby, this all went down in front of the cameras. The second Kelly stopped, oh, you could practically see the steam coming out of her ears. She was not having it. Pointing her finger straight at the guard, she gave him that "don't you dare" look that had everyone watching. Kelly sent shockwaves when she spoke out later. She wasn't just annoyed, oh no, she was pissed. She accused the guard of racially profiling her, claiming that women who didn't look like her were treated with respect and given their moment in the spotlight, while she was shoved aside like she didn't belong. "I stood my ground," Kelly said later, unapologetically. "If you weren't already paying attention, now you are. There's a boundary, and I don't let people cross it."
The woman knows what happened. I know what happened. And I have a boundary. I stand by those boundaries, and that is it. And there were other women that attended that carpet who did not quite look like me. And they didn't get there, scolded or pushed off or told to get off. And I stood my ground. And she felt like she had to stand hers, but I stood my ground.
The guard's colleagues tried to jump in, claiming she was just doing her job, but Kelly wasn't buying it. For her, this wasn't about following rules. It was about respect, something she felt was clearly missing. A black woman on the red carpet shouldn't have to fight to be seen. And of course, social media exploded. That clip of Kelly pointing her finger with all that fire went viral faster than you can say no, 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 sparking debates about racism and celebrity treatment. Some folks were all in for Kelly, calling her a queen for standing up for herself, while others tried to downplay it, questioning if it was really about race or just an overreaction. But the memes, baby, they were legendary, turning Kelly's defiant moment into everything from a rallying cry for justice to a hilarious internet sensation. But through all the noise, Kelly stood firm. She wasn't about to let the backlash stop her from raising the issue of racial profiling, using her platform to shine a light on how Black women are often treated unfairly in high-profile spaces. That moment in Cannes wasn't just another viral clip. It was a bold reminder that Kelly Rowland will always speak up and make sure her voice is heard. Today, Kelly Rowland is worth an estimated $30 million, a testament to her talent and business savvy, whether she's a chart-topping singer, an actress, or a devoted mother. She'll be remembered for her grace, her determination, and her boundary-pushing career. While fans eagerly await her next album, one thing's for sure, Kelly Rowland isn't done making waves.